Alright, so I'm going to show you this visual. Square root of x, and then you put in there the tangent line, x over 6 plus 3 over 2. So there's square root of x. And of course I can't see 9. Yes, I can. It's right there. So let me zoom in just a bit right here. Everything's happening right here. So I'm trying to find at 9. This is the tangent line at 9. I'm going to zoom in just a bit here because it's getting so close I can't see the damn thing. So just zoom in. Just zoom in here like that. Whee! I know this is way too exciting to handle the video here. So there's my rad, and then here comes my tangent line, and it hits, boom, it hits it. And then I can almost see it going away on the other side. So it's only right at 9 that this bad boy clips. So I want to show you that image, right? The visual of what the hell we just did. It is the line. Any other line with a slightly different slope is going to hit that immediately at a different point. Tangent line is the only one that can hit that point and not hit it again for a little while. Because it might, function might go, and then I'm going to hit it again. I don't care what it is. But not in that local area. Tangent line means you only hit that thing once in that local area. So, here's what I want to show you the cool thing. Let me take this guy away. Go away. And let me zoom 6's bad boy. Alright. Where do you guys go to find the intersection of two lines? Who remembers? Second calc. And if you look at second calc, there's something very interesting that's a little bit ahead of us still.
Do idea.
But it might as well, yeah, some of you guys know. And what does this look like? If I say d is like delta, remember delta meant change in? So when I say d, that means infinitesimal change. And that's really what the limit is all about, is letting it change just very little. So this is the slope at a point. So if I pick 6, and real quick, what is 1 divided by 6? It's going to give me as a decimal. So 1 divided by 6 is 0.1666666.
Yeah.
Cool. So if I tell it at 9, it tells me that the slope is 0.1666666. And it rounds to 7, we let it do that. You guys kind of with me here? So there's a nice way to check your work. Don't tell me I hit this button and that button and it said this. I'm like, that's good for it. Right. But at least it's nice to know what the answer is supposed to be. Maybe. Alright, now, what was it I was about to say before that? Who just asked me something about?
Is this what we're never going to use?
Say again?
Is this what we're never going to use?
Oh, you can't use this to answer a question because it requires work, right? Cool. Otherwise, your calculator goes to Calc 2 or whatever, and you take this again. All right. There was something else I thought. Somebody was about to do something.
More solid for x.
How do you mean?
We use the same limit instead of solid.
Oh, okay, thank you. So the tie-in between section 2.7 and section 2.8 is all 2.8 does, and I want to just talk about this very quickly. All 2.8 does, and let me introduce some notation here. Section 2.7, what we do is we find the slope of a function at a value, and look at how many words it took to write. How many math people, that hurt me writing that. Well, Jeff, along. So we come up with a notation, some kind of symbol to use to represent that whole idea I just said. So the slope of a function at some point A, I write that as f prime of A. So some of you guys are like, oh, I'm getting excited. We're getting close now. After this first test, we will learn the shortcuts. Thank God. And the rest of you guys are like, all right, sounds good. So all 2.8 does, so this uses A, so I plug in 1 or 3 or 9 like we just did, right? We plug in a specific number. But I mean, what if I did that whole problem we just did for the square root of x and I said at x equal 4? You'd have to do the whole damn thing again. So why not, instead of plugging in like 9, why not just let it be x? So all 2.8 does is it says f prime at any point you want is exactly what you would think it is. just with x's instead of a's.
So on the test we can't do that.
Not yet.
I'm kind of torn. If you did it, I wouldn't take points off.
Alright.
If you did this,
Alright.
you with me? All right, which is actually sometimes more work, to be honest. Because what this will do is it'll find the slope of a function at every point. Because what's x? Any damn thing you want it to be. So real quick, last thing we'll do today. All right, that's always an exciting phrase to hear. Let's look at a very simple function. And I like the people that are out there like, okay, I'm looking at it. What's the slope right here of x squared? What do you think this tangent line slope would be? 0. And the slope here, you don't know what it is exactly, but how's it different from the slope there? One is negative, one's positive. All right, so we kind of can just visually tell what's going on with the slope of this function everywhere. But now I don't want to do section 2.7 and get the slope at 3, the slope at 4, the slope at 5. I want to know the slope at 1.897 one day and 2.34 the next day and negative 28 the next day. Just whatever the hell, anywhere. So the whole point of section 2.8 is the derivative, which is what this is. This is called the derivative. And sometimes I refer to this process as differentiation. Just sounds like a word that doesn't know where it wants to go. Differentiation. This is the derivative, and the process of finding the derivative is very often called differentiation. So I might use those words like I just did. So if I did this for that, let's do that together real quick. F of x plus h would be what?
X plus h squared.
That's crazy. Minus f of x is x squared over h. What happens there?
You get x squared plus 2x, right? Plus h squared minus x squared over h.
Beautiful. So the x squares cancel.
And you pull out h.
And now the h's cancel. So this limit, and then h goes to 0. So you get 2x. And sure enough, so this is f prime of x. That is f, that's how you say that, f prime of x. So that's how you read this in English, f prime of x. Yes, sir?
So what this means is that, for example, at the point 1 the slope is 2. At point 2 the slope is 2.
Exactly. So if I said what's the slope of f of x at x equals 1? Screw that. What's f prime of 1? That means the same thing as all those words. It's awesome. That's what math people love. Shorthand, right? We could have been a court stenographer in another life. Shorthand, no? Okay. So what is f prime of 1?
It's 2.
2. It's crazy. So it's positive on that side. What's f prime of 0?
0.
0. It's 0, like we say. What's f prime of negative 1? Negative 2 is insane. That's in our future officially. I wanted to not give you too much homework before the test. So 2.8 homework, you can start now if you want to, but it's not going to be due till the next test. Please guys, tomorrow I'll have the answer key for that practice test. So don't give them to me. I don't want to see them unless you have a question. So tomorrow's review day for the test. Come ready with all your questions.
Do you have practice test?
Oh, maybe not get a practice test. All right. Oh shit. Probably need that. Okay, turn that on.